Check. Here we go. As the coaches and athletes make their way to the interview room and then eventually the podium up here, just a few reminders. Again, don't be that person. Make sure your cell phones and other similar electronic devices are turned off. That's out of respect for the athletes. As we have questions, please give your name and affiliation. Wait, come on up, ladies. You're good. Take your seat on the name. And we'll take questions from in person first and then over Zoom. And reminder, recording press conferences on cell phones is prohibited, but media members are allowed to take still photos. All right. We're still waiting on the coach. Coach will provide an opening statement, and then we'll have 8 minutes for the student athletes to answer questions. They will then be dismissed, and then we'll have approximately 10 minutes for the coach to address questions from the media. So. Love the hustle. Love the hustle. All right, we'd like to welcome Coach Barnes-Arico to the stand. Also, student athletes, let me get my thing here, Naz Hillman, Layla Filia, and Leah Brown. So start with opening statements from Coach Barnes-Arico.
Well, that was an unbelievable basketball game. Not sure what I look like. I borrowed some clothes to get here because we had a celebration in the locker room. But really proud of the way our team played and really proud of the way that they finished the last 4 minutes of the game. South Dakota had an incredible season, has an incredible team. They were really impressive, and we had to do everything that we could to come away with a victory tonight, but just proud of how we finished the game for sure.
Okay, let's turn over questions for student athletes. Let's start right over here on this side.
First of all, congratulations on the win. This question is for Layla. You guys were up 5. You guys were up 5 with less than 2 minutes left. South Dakota tied it up. What's going through your mind before you made that layup? With the time running down, South Dakota has kind of not all the momentum, but it seems like it's the crowd is getting in with them. What was your kind of initial reaction?
So I knew the clock was running down, and at that point, I just knew I needed to attack the basket. And I feel like my teammates, they gave me a lot of confidence right before I did end up going in. And they told me now is not the time to hesitate. So, yeah.
I like it. I like it. I was telling you to just score.
Yeah.
I said, just score.
She
just
was
score.
yelling at me to score. So, yeah.
Okay, right over here on the side, the blue.
Layla, I did catch a moment earlier in the game where Coach said to you, just go. You got to take it. Take the shot. Don't hesitate. So for you to do that, was that in the back of your mind there that it was you had the coach or the confidence of your coach to go make a play?
Yeah. That right there, that gave me the most confidence in the world. And I felt like just being able to have the head coach sit there and tell me to go score and don't hesitate at all, I feel like that really helped a lot. And I know that she has faith in me, so.
Okay, we'll go to a question from Zoom. Jeffrey, please go ahead.
Hey, ladies, this is Jeff Newholm from Nuts and Bolts Sports. After you worked so hard to get to this point, what does it mean to be able to go to Michigan's first ever Elite Eight game?
Layla, we'll go down the line.
It means a lot. Obviously, we've made history throughout this entire season, but we wanted to continue to keep doing things that have never been done before, and just go through the highs and lows that we did this season. I wouldn't trade this team for anyone else. Wouldn't trade this coaching staff for anyone else. So super proud of us. Super proud of everyone that made it happen. But yeah, we're not done yet. So we want to keep making history for sure.
Yeah, super excited, and I feel like every time we make history, I think about all those people before us. Some of the teammates that we've had who really wanted to get to this point, players that we don't know but have helped to build, and establish what we have, our culture, our system, working towards putting Michigan on the map. So, not only thinking about what we did as a team, but just all those people who came before us to kind of get this ball rolling.
And as a freshman coming in, I felt like just being able to come in here and know how hard these girls have worked already, and just being able to, like, honestly, like, right now, I'm so happy for them because they've worked so hard and day in and day out, so yeah.
Okay, let's come up here in person, right here.
Kevin Draper from the New York Times. Naz, this is for you. I guess I'm just wondering what it was like fighting against Hannah for that entire game.
It was a good battle. Obviously, I don't even know what to say. Sorry. It was a good battle. I mean, she's a tough defender. Really works in the post on offense and really tries to get her positioning. I think one of the things about I always think back to our conference and how that has really helped and prepared us for this tournament. So, within that battle, just thinking about some of the players who are kind of like her in a sense, not like her in a sense, and just trying to figure out how it can be most successful. But a great battle, definitely.
Let's go in front here.
Ryan Zook with MLive. This is for you, Naz. What do you think you were able to do to bounce back after a slow start?
I think I really just try not to focus on the offensive end. I think that sometimes my defense really gets me going and trying to rebound. I knew that if I could continue that motor and at least give my teammates second opportunities by getting offensive boards, that would really help me, and then I could just kind of get into the flow of things. When I'm not thinking about it too much, I think that I can just maneuver throughout the game and just have a level head about me. So really trying to do the intangible things to get myself going and not necessarily focusing on trying to score buckets at the time.
Over to the side there.
Yeah, no, it's been a long time. You guys will play Louisville on Monday. It's been a long time since that game in Louisville. How much have you guys changed, you feel like, since that loss in Louisville?
Yeah, that game taught us a lot about ourselves. And I think that was an important game for us. We always talk about how losses are lessons, and that's exactly what that game was. We figured out how to put people in better positions, how to space ourselves out a little bit more. I think that we've become a lot more confident since that game. So, I mean, having that previously happen to us and so early in the year definitely did help our growth offensively and defensively.
Okay, we have one here on Zoom. Zach, go ahead.
Thank you. Zach James, Sioux City Journal. Nad, you kind of mentioned this on the TV side on how well South Dakota played and how scrappy they were. How scrappy was South Dakota, and was that the scrappiest team you ladies have seen all year?
Yeah, they were definitely scrappy. They fought and clawed. I mean, you guys saw that last minute. They were in there running around for every rebound, trying to take charges throughout the game, everything in between. But I do think that I go back to, like I said earlier, our conference scrappy. So many people in our conference that plays to that level and that magnitude, and they try to get in there and get every rebound and make it tough, and not necessarily always about the X's and O's, but just how hard they play on defense. So definitely a scrappy team. I put them up there in that list, but I do think, again, our conference helped us to prepare for that.
Okay, we've got time for one more question for the students.
Yeah, this is for Naz. Amy hasn't had the year she wanted. She wasn't a part of the Sweet 16 run last year. What does it mean to you to see someone who was your teammate for 3-4 years, play such a big part of the game down the stretch and play such a big role?
Yeah, I think we talk about this often about how you just don't know what bag everybody's going to come out of, and that's what's really dangerous about that team. And just to see Amy, get her stuff going on the defensive end. I mean, she was everywhere getting tips, deflections, just really scrambling around. And to see her be successful means the world. Obviously my classmate, I've seen her growth over the years and her development. So to see her, be in that moment and to be so successful meant the world.
Okay, we'd like to thank the student athletes for coming up here.
You have a question?
I'm afraid that's all.
Go ahead.
Okay, they're going to take one.
How does it feel to make your first Elite Eight?
It feels great, Emma. Thank you for that question.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
Awesome.
Boy, I hope I don't get trouble for that.
Soaking wet. Good job, Lay. Good job.
Nice job, ladies. Congratulations. Okay, we have 10 minutes to open it up for questions for Coach Bonzarico. Let's go ahead and let's start up here in front, then we'll make our way back over to the side.
Coach, Matt Park, Michigan Radio, the last sequence there, the last play on offense, Was that where it was supposed to go? Was that an option, or did you consider even a timeout there late as the shot clock was winding down?
I don't even remember the last play. Walk me through it, Matt. Which one was it?
Your possession, it ends with Layla scoring, but it looked like you moved the ball around. Looked like maybe you were trying to go inside. Did they take that away? And what option was Layla? And did you think about a timeout late?
Yeah, we ran an action to try to go inside, and we obviously couldn't get anything inside. But Layla is she's going to be a phenomenal player for us. And I think about it, and you've been with me so many times during the course of the year when she made great plays against quality opponents, whether that was when we played Baylor, whether that was when we beat Iowa at home. She makes big plays. Sometimes if you tell her that, we're running it for her, it makes her think a little bit too much. As a freshman, I just want her to be able to make a play, and that's what I kept trying to encourage her to do during the course of the game, because she was thinking too much. Even the turnovers she had late, she was thinking too much and not just playing. And that's what she always says, like, play. That we always try to tell her, just play ball, just play the game. And when she had the ball in her hands, I was kind of confident that something good would happen if she wasn't thinking about it. And I just let her play, and she was able to make that layup. That wasn't the initial action, but if she has the ball in her hands late in the shot clock, we want her to go to the basket for sure.
Let's go over to the side.
Hey, Coach Cameron Teague with the Courier-Journal from Louisville. Like I asked Naz, that game in December is a long time ago now. She said that helped you guys, that helped change you guys. What about that game helped you guys, propel you guys to where you are now, and how much do you feel like that game helped you guys so much?
Yeah, I mean, Louisville is a great program, and it's a place that I feel like I've had to go to a lot as the head coach of the University of Michigan, and this year was just another example of that. And they, they were phenomenal. They really disrupted us and took us out of what we wanted to do, and that was important for us to learn from and to grow from. And they have a great team, and we learned a lot from that game about us and what we needed to get better at, and how could we had to learn how to be a top team in the country, and I think we took a lot from that game for sure.
Okay, let's bring it back over here.
Michael McClear, Argus leader. They didn't end up falling, but when you brought that half-court pressure, those doubles, did you expect that South Dakota would get all the open shots they did?
Yeah, we play a different style than a lot of the teams that they played, and just going back and watching the film of their first two tournament games, who they beat two Power 5 opponents that are awesome teams, they defended it differently than we did tonight, and we wanted to give them a different look. I think it sped them up, and it made them take quicker shots than maybe they wanted to take. I think in a game like tonight, though, both teams didn't really have a ton of shots falling. I mean, we have a great shooter in Maddie Nolan, and she didn't have a ton falling for her either, but we wanted her to continue to shoot. So I think, in this kind of environment, sometimes that's the case, but we wanted to give them a different defense than they faced.
Okay, let's bring it back up in front here.
Hey, Jim, Ryan Zoot with MLive. Did you have to say much to Naz after her slow start, or did you kind of figure she would figure things out?
Well, I thought Naz actually had an amazing start, and then they had to review that play. And that took like 2 minutes, and Naz went from being like zoom here, getting every rebound, having a tremendous amount of bounce, till we were sitting watching or waiting for the replay to be reviewed for a long time. And I think that kind of deflated our momentum early in the beginning. And then we started to take some quick shots, which is what when we watched them beat Ole Miss and Baylor, they had a tendency to do. So we just needed to slow down, and I think the first quarter kind of got us into that, and then we did a better job in the second quarter. But, I mean, Naz is an All-American for a reason, and I always feel like she's going to get it going. There's hardly many times throughout her course of 4 years where she hasn't gotten it going. And even days where she doesn't have great scoring, she's a tremendous passer and a tremendous defender. So I knew it would only be a matter of time, but she was awesome, and we went to her at key points down the stretch for sure.
Let's come in front here.
Yeah, Michelle Vogel, ESPN.com. Coach, congratulations on the Elite Eight. Can you kind of reflect on this team's resilience? Because it wasn't the easiest end to the regular season, with the game, with Illinois not getting rescheduled, cost you probably a Big Ten championship, losing in the Big Ten tournament. How did you sort of regroup as a group to get to this point?
Yeah, I think that's probably the biggest question that has been, the biggest challenge question that's been faced to me and to our team. And you really, hit the nail on the head. And I don't know if everybody talks about it. I don't know if everybody knows it, but we don't have any Big Ten championship banners hanging in Chrysler Arena. And this year we had an unbelievable opportunity to hang one. And because of a snowstorm and a cancellation, we had one less game. That's crushing, and that could be devastating, and that could change the outcome of the year for sure. We lost 2 games in February back-to-back on the road where Leah Brown didn't play. That's crushing. That's challenging. We win one of those games, and 2 of them they were heartbreaking. We win one of them, we win a Big Ten championship. So there were a lot of things that happened during the course of the year that we could have crumbled, and we could have said, well, woe is me, and why did this happen to us? And I'm sure alone in our moments we do say that, but I think the great quality about this team and this program has been the ability to get back up every day and to come together and say, well, now we have something to prove, and we have motivation, and we have to go out and shock the world and say that somebody made a mistake or it wasn't supposed to be this way. So it was hard. It's really, really hard, because I think in 20 years I'm going to look up and that Big Ten banner's not going to be there, and this team deserved it more than anyone I've ever been a part of, and that's never going to go away. But the moment that we had today is never going to go away. So I'm just so happy for this group, for them sticking together, and for them, we're still playing. There are 8 darn teams left in the country playing, and we are one of them. That's pretty incredible.
Okay, let's bring it back over here.
Mark Patrick, Michigan Daily. When Naz wasn't getting it going in the first quarter, Layla took the opportunity to take advantage of it. At one point, she had 11 points, and I think the number 2 scorer had 6 points with Naz. What does it mean with a freshman is able to step up in those moments when the top players aren't necessarily getting the bounces they want?
Yeah, we have we always say like the dynamic duo, or the Batman and Robin, or the Kobe and Shaq in Leah Brown and Naz Hillman, and we know that. The whole country knows that. But the more we can get the players around them going, the better team we're going to be. And Layla Filia is obviously special. She's been special for us all year long. She received the National Freshman of the Week one week. She was all Big Ten freshman team in a league with a ton of awesome freshmen. She's just special, and she's something that we don't have. She gives us a dynamic that we don't have, the ability to get to the rim against anyone and the ability to knock down threes. She's just learning, though. She's such a baby, and she's just learning everything, and she wants to learn. She's just a sponge, and her upperclassmen love her. I mean, she's an unbelievable, incredible defender. It's hard to take her off the floor because of how she defends. So when she got going, that was really great for us. I felt like, hey, we're going to be in really, really good shape because she was going, and that added another scorer to our 1-2 punch.
Okay, we got one final question right here.
Coach, you seemed more emotional than usual at the end of the game when I had a chance to see you. You seem like you're still pretty emotional right now. I know part of that is because of what you were answering about with Michelle there. It feels like this means a lot to you, just looking at you and watching you tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Matt, if anybody knows, it's you. You've been with us for a really long time. You've been here since I first got here 10 years ago. And I've been telling the players in the locker room, even since the Sweet 16, like, there's a lot of great coaches, and a lot of great players that never have the opportunity to be where we are today. Never. And they go through their careers hoping and wishing. And I get to be a part of a team that's been there twice. and a team that like you don't want to. By the end of the year, most coaches are like, man, I can't wait to go on vacation, or I can't wait to have a day off. Like, I don't want to leave these kids. Like, I don't want it to end because they're just so incredible to be around, and they're such a special group. But where Michigan is, this Block M, if anyone told you 10 years ago, you would have said no way. And you know, we have players that came in here with this vision and this belief that they could do something incredibly special, and they wanted to be a part of that Block M and that excellence. And here we are sitting, you know, at the table going to the Elite Eight. It's just a dream like you could never imagine, but it's people that came together and created something incredibly special. It's awesome.
Okay, that's all the time we have right now. So thanks, everyone.
Cece, you have a question? Do I have another Arico family member? You can't freeze when the spotlight is on. Okay.
I think we need to check their credentials.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.